Before the first call comes in, before the city begins to move, there are men and women already preparing for the responsibility they have chosen to carry. They are their officers. They are the investigators. They are the specialists and professionals of the Dallas Police Department. Individuals who step forward each day knowing that service requires sacrifice, courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. In our new series, When Dallas Calls, we go beyond the uniform and beyond the calls for service to introduce the people who make up the department. Through their stories, and through their experiences, we take you inside the specialized units, their mission, and the mindset of those who answer when the city needs them most. These are the men and women who rise before dawn, put on the uniform, and proudly wear that iconic Dallas Police badge, not simply as an emblem, but as a promise to protect, serve, and stand ready in moments of uncertainty. When Dallas Calls is more than a series about what they do. It is a tribute to who they are, their stories, their dedication, and the legacy they continue to build every day. Because every call has a story, every badge carries a responsibility. And when Dallas calls, they answer. We're back with another When Dallas Calls. I want to welcome on Chief Comeaux.
How you doing today, good brother?
He's back, and Kent Wolverton's here with me. Marty.
Hi.
From South Central. Tell the listener who you are and how long you've been on.
So, my full name. Should we give like all the names?
Yeah, give the full name, but then we'll refer to you by the condensed version.
Yes.
Because I can't say the full name.
Okay, so officially, on paper, I'm Mariana Alexandra Cartas Santiago. I am changing my name, though, because I recently got married. So, but I'll keep the Cartas, though.
Congratulations.
It's a lot easier. But everybody calls me Mari. So, Mari's the way to go.
Marty, we're going with that.
Yeah, and I work South Central right now. Third watch, best watch. 2 to midnight. It's great. Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays off. I love it.
Man, I wish I had that.
It's great. I love it. Got the Lord's Day is off. That's all I need.
All right. You're training right now, too, right?
I am.
Who's your rookie sitting over here watching?
Colton Forrestal.
Okay.
He's doing great.
Good.
For the most part.
He's going to make it off the program?
Yeah, he's going to make it.
We'll
make sure of
you
it.
You think, or are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. All right.
We'll see. We'll see. He's, every day we're like up and down. But that's training. He's doing good, though.
What phase?
Second phase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're like almost halfway through.
Well, we wish him luck. If not, we'll cut his name out here whenever we release this.
Just change him for another rookie.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We'll leave his name in so he can be a little bit embarrassed.
All right, to Fort Worth.
Oh yeah.
Well, they probably could use him.
Yeah.
He is closer that way though. He makes a long drive every day.
Oh, but you want to be a Dallas officer, right?
Exactly.
I like it.
Best in blue.
The purpose of the show is to kind of highlight every unit and division, and you're our first for patrol. Patrol is the backbone of the department, and Chief would probably agree with that. And I had to pick a few people to do patrol, and you're our first one. So you're out at South Central now, right?
Yes.
So I have a patrol south and then a patrol north one coming up with Elizondo. We cannot get to everybody, and we can't hit every topic, but I picked you. Your reputation's extremely good. You're a hard worker. You're a positive person. And also, I know you're a fan of the show.
I am.
So you've been listening for a long time.
A long time. I was marathon training and I was listening to these, and they're kind of long, so it's nice.
It's a good time kill.
Yeah.
Is it because Joe's long-winded?
No,
or is he a certified yapper?
She's definitely a certified yapper.
I just wanted to get that in, certified yapper. I learned something new.
I think she's got me beat.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, depends. We could definitely talk forever, though.
All right, so patrol, it's so massive in our department, but it is so crucial. You're the first person that shows up when 911 calls, and y'all have to deal with a variety of things every single day, and usually most days are never the same.
So true. Very different.
So I want you to talk about the biggest challenge in patrol going on right now. I mean, other than just a heavy call load and the nonstop drinking from the fire hose, and you got Chief right here with you. I want him to hear everything.
Oh, Chief.
Let's
All
go.
right. I would say sometimes the call load for sure. Some days are easy. Some days are hard. I would say probably right now the pressure of making sure we hit the numbers. Because, they tell us, I know the supervisors get it, and then they come in down and tell us. And it's always the making sure, that time frame that we're hitting it, or are we too long? Are we documenting everything? It's just making sure we hit all our all of our I's and hit all of our T's, because none of us want to get in trouble. That's always our goal, right? Other than going home, none of us want to get in trouble. So we're having to not only answer the call and assist the citizen, but also make sure that we're doing everything correct on the back end so we don't get burned. And so I think that's usually probably the hardest part, is a million things all at once. And you feel the pressure some days, but some days, especially when it's like a really heavy call load of like, hey, clear the next. And it's cool, but sometimes you're like, man, I really want to spend a little bit more time on this call. But you can't, because you got to go answer the next one.
So just to clarify, you're talking about response times and then the amount of time that you're considered allowed to remain on that call to process everything and finish your reports. We're not talking about, I have to write 16 tickets in it each day, right?
Definitely not.
There's no numbers there for all the haters that want to say that we're running on a quota system. But we do have metrics that we try to meet as far as response times and then how quickly we can clear the call to get to the next one.
Yeah, because we have to document a lot, right? Like even the simplest calls, you can say, okay, I'm just going to write comments. But then you think 2-3 weeks from now, what if that call comes up again? Are you documenting everything? Does the supervisor know what you did? There's body cam, but even though there's body cam, we still have to document everything. There's so much documentation, even as a PO, even more now for me as a corporal, making sure like I document everything my rookie did, and then still have to go answer the call and then get all my DORs done. So it's a lot. I feel like from when I was a PO, like I could think, if one call, let's say I have one use of force, right? I got to do a blue team. I got to dock my camera, view it all, make sure it's all documented properly, send the report, get it approved, wait on staff review to say that that it's good, make sure my supervisor then the next day says my blue team is good. So it's a lot of like going back and forth on a single call. So I would say that's probably
a pretty good explanation.
Yeah.
No, it is. And, I think back whenever like we were in the streets and mid to late 90s. Yeah. So we had no body cam. Yeah. We had
information. Yeah. Information cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Just leave.
Yeah.
We didn't have, not every car even had dash cams. There's so much that goes on now. I don't think everybody considers. And then how long have you been on?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
How much have you seen a change in patrol just in the 5 years?
I would say quite a bit. Cause I remember when I first started, like it felt like I could really like enjoy the call when I was there. But whenever now, I feel like I have to make sure that I remember everything. And it's not like you can write everything down all at once, right? And now I'm like, dang, I really gotta, like, I gotta do all this stuff right after I'm done. Like, it's as simple as having your body cam. And if you forget to turn it on, you have to document. You have to do an MIR report. And you gotta document. I forgot to turn on my body cam. Or whatever the reason is. Like, everything has to be, it's a lot. And it's time consuming. And then we're also expected to go out and then answer the next call, which I get. Like I know the supervisors do the best to tell us, hey, work with us. But I'm sure they get the pressure from higher up of like, hey, we got to go to the next one. Got to go to the next one. But I still got reports to do. And then we're also not trying to do OT on it. So it's a lot back and forth.
Policing in 2026 is definitely different than 1991.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
there
sure.
wasn't as much documentation. Well, you're talking about the higher ups. We just happen to be sitting with the higher up.
Right. The boss of the boss.
Yeah, the boss of the boss.
If there's any tech people out there that want to make a lot of money really quick, if you could take one report and send it to everything, that would be a great deal. Kind of combine everything that we're doing into one thing instead of making us do 16 different things for that.
On 16 different programs.
Yeah,
we are working on
option
technology right now. I will say we're really moving in the area, trying to see how technology can make us more efficient. Shout out to Sergeant Reinhardt, who's really at the tip of the spear on that, and he's definitely trying to make the department
so smart.
Better.
Yeah.
I won't say it to his face.
This is a little opposite in his offline. I just don't like seeing him in a uniform.
It's weird.
He looks better without his uniform on. And I don't know, I think it's the nerdness that comes out, and you just know he's making the department better. When he puts his uniform on, he doesn't look right. Yeah. I hope he listens to this.
Yeah, but I'll make sure he listens to it. Yeah, keep him in a button-down short sleeve shirt with a pocket protector.
You mentioned a DOR. What is a DOR? Can you explain that?
So it's a daily observation report. So it's how we document how our rookies are doing. So for me, I try to be as detailed as possible, but also make it condensed, right? A good summary. Because with how policing is changing, right? From even when I got hired on to how it's going now, you could definitely tell there's a difference of how we grew up. Like I I was born in 99. So
God.
I know.
Jesus peaks.
So for me, technology was not as put in my hand as it is now. And we have a recruit, not mine, but we have a recruit right now that's 20 years old, right? When I was in the academy, I was also 20. I think I just turned 21. And with that, you have a different kind of policing. With how we document now, some people have a little bit of a harder time communicating. Like, I'm very comfortable talking to you or talking to somebody in the pinks, right? I'm not shy about it. But someone who grew up using the phone and texting, it's not as easy to communicate. And you have to document that because that could matter later on in their career. And it comes back to the trainers. What kind of training did they do?
Well, I would have grew up in the pinks. So
I didn't grow up in the pinks.
Well, that is interesting, though. You talk about what I noticed now, the wellness unit, we reach out to everybody. And a lot of the people that I reach out to, I'll call them, and then they'll text me back, hey, thanks for reaching out. I'm good. There's
something like called cold calling. I'm like, is that not just a regular phone call?
Yeah, well, I'm honestly, if somebody works deep nights, I will text and try to do it midday because I don't want to disturb anybody's sleep. Another thing you talked about, you've mentioned a couple of times, and you got to just understand all the listeners are not in law enforcement.
Right.
Can you talk about what a blue team is and why we use that?
So it's how we document our use of force. Some places we use it a little bit more than others, right? I say the less I have to do that, the better. But it's just how we document. So if we tase someone, if we go hands-on, whether it's soft, empty hand control, which would be just like hands, physical hands, right? Or if we did not a felony traffic stop, point out a gun at someone or whatever the situation is, we have to document it. That way, if and when that report goes to, let's say, court or something like that, they know how we did it, why we did it, and we have to explain. Like, every time my taser turns on, that's documented, and we have to upload that through Axon, download it, and then put it in our blue team. Supervisor looks at it, says what you did was justified, and you did everything properly, how SOP says, how General Order says, and then they send it off to our lieutenant, and it gets approved, and a million people watch it eventually.
Yeah, so can you kind of just describe to the listener a daily timeline on a normal day for patrol?
So you start off, go to detail, call detail. They'll give you the million special assignments that there is, which dwindles down to maybe a handful of elements actually answering calls. And then we go into getting your car ready. And you sit down, you log in, you got to do a vehicle checkout sheet. You got to log in your body cam. You got to do a video for your vehicle, make sure there's no damage and there's nothing found in your car. And then you finally go answer calls. On my days, Wednesdays, Thursdays, usually they're pretty soft. They're not as busy. So I let my rookie and I, we go do some proactive work, try to find something on our own activity. The weekends, though, they're a lot more busy. So you're kind of just right off the bat. You're probably a priority one just came out, might be holding or is about to come out as soon as you're clear. So you start answering calls. I don't try. I make sure I fit my lunch in there because one thing they always tell us is that you better find the time to eat. So I make sure I do.
I heard you have snacks for snacks.
I do. I have emergency snacks for my snacks when I ran out of my original snacks.
You got to fuel.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to make sure my brain is sharp, right?
100%. If you're not eating and hydrating properly, you won't make the same decisions.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not that hot today, right? It's like 104,
it's
5
just 3 digits, something slight.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned special assignments that you get in detail. Mm-hmm. What would those consist of? So
we have the 5 8As. So those are markouts that we do on specific beats or like hot locations. You have, like, for us, we have the truck stops, which is down on Lancaster or Simpson Stewart off 20, because there's a lot of crime that goes on over there, like BMVs and stuff.
No.
Yeah. And then you have certain beats also that you just have to do like an hour, or if like we mentioned the pinks, 3757's beat, you get sometimes anywhere between 1 hour to 4 hours because there's a lot of stuff that goes on over there, so they need one of us out there. So we're talking about 6-7 special assignments, and if there's only 12 elements logged in that day, that takes away a bunch of us to answer actually calls.
Then there's also your hospital assignments that you could catch, and then there's extra patrols where people have called and asked for police to drive by more frequently. So
the 311s that we answer
parking complaints and all the weird stuff that comes through, but it still falls into our jurisdiction there. So there's a lot of stuff that can distract you from answering 911 calls, which is our main job function.
Right.
Sounds like you need a raise.
Do I? I do.
Yeah. Chief,
that wasn't a question. That should have been a statement.
Yeah. So another thing you mentioned, I want you to explain to the listeners, you said priority calls. Like, can you explain the difference in the priority calls that patrol answers?
Yeah, so you have a priority one call would be like your major ones, shootings, stabbings. Right now their calls, I read the email, said that we're going, I think they're no longer be 6XEs. We'll name them actually like major disturbance emergency with an ambulance. We have, what's the other one? Critical missings are priority ones as well now. And then you have your next, that's just to name a few. Then you have your priority twos, which would be like your regular family violence, which usually are notated as major disturbances because they're not always family. You have your suspicious person or a burglar vehicle that just occurred. Then you have your threes and fours, which is usually calls that you can answer as a one man because they're quote unquote should usually be report calls. Your thefts, your BMVs that happened 2-3 hours ago, a minor accident. That is like off the roadway, they're already in a parking lot. So it just depends the kind of calls that you're going to have when it happened, and then I guess the urgency of it.
Depending on how the information was obtained by the 911 call taker is what it's dispatched as. Correct. Sometimes it could be something as simple. I mean, when I was out there, it's been 10 years since I've been out there, but the comments could read, young black male walking through Breezeway, doesn't live in the complex, unknown what up to. And that could be like a suspicious person call, which is a higher priority. It always kind of annoyed me that I believe sometimes there could be a better filter to get some of these calls because somebody walking through an apartment complex is not that urgent.
So one of the things that the officer just alluded to is the fact that we're going to go to more plain talk now. I think Dallas PD was pretty unique in all of the codes that we used. And we're going to go more plain talk, and I think it's going to be good for the dispatcher also. Instead of using the 6 with all the letters and numbers behind it on top of numbers, we're just going to go more to plain talk. Male walking through complex with a gun or, loud music coming from here rather than number, letters, X's, and everything else.
This is probably the third or fourth iteration of we're going to do that, and it never sticks. What plans do you kind of have for that?
Well, it's going to stick as long as I'm here, and I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
I like that part.
Good. Yeah, we definitely like that.
Yeah, I feel like the calls definitely will get coded incorrectly, and what sucks is sometimes we have to go to a priority one, right? Those are the most high risk, at least for us, because Dallas people don't know how to drive. So you're driving code to a call, and the call, you can clearly tell it's not a nothing, but it's not something that we should be driving code 3 to. And sometimes it's not just even the supervisor, sometimes the people on the call getting comfortable with saying, hey, can a supervisor look at this call? Or if you already know, like me, if I know the call isn't a priority one, I'm going to say, hey, we're going to go code 1 because X, Y, and Z. Because I don't want to put myself in danger. I don't want to put my partners in danger to get into a car accident when it's clearly not a priority one.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm going to make a little fun of myself being a new chief, new department. I thought my command staff was really not that smart because they text me and they were like, hey, Chief, we had a chase, patrol going down the wrong side of the street, ends up with an accident, and it was all juveniles and one's 27. So I was like, okay. All juveniles, but one's 27. Okay, well, typo. They must have meant he was 17, and they're calling that a juvenile. So I get another text. It's the same thing. And then the next day in Comstat, they're talking about it. And I'm like, why do they keep saying that it's all juveniles and one's 27? Like, I'm not understanding this. So I finally said, hey, wait, time out. Am I the dumb one? Or are y'all making typos? Or are you the dumb one? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, how the heck is everybody a juvenile and one's 27? And they all looked at me and they're like, 27 means dead. And I'm like, God darn, Dallas, who made that up? Like, where did that come from? Help me understand where that came from.
I think it might have been Moses. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, in Dallas, it's been around a while. Well, what's funny is the first time that I text you, I think I said code 5. And you didn't know what I was talking about.
No. Standard police.
Yeah.
Code 1, code 2, code 3. It stops.
Not here. We
No.
do things weird.
X10 means my home. That's standard, right? But the codes here are very different.
Yeah.
Y'all are unique when it comes to codes. And I think a lot of it with the stress that comes with the job, I believe Plain Talk is just that much better. And when I was talking to the Chief Advisory Board and then I was talking to the associations, I feel like a whole bunch of people agree with that. But some people are going to have a hard time going away from it because that's the way Dallas always did it. But I think the Plain Talk, and I was told that it's flip-flop back and forth a few times. But to me, it just makes total sense that we go to Plain Talk.
How is that going to work as far as priority calls? I mean, obviously, someone's shooting or someone's been shot is still going to be their priority one. But if we're using plain language to describe what's happening, is that going to be up to dispatch to figure that part out, or 911, the way they code it?
Yes, it will be. And I guess here's a great time to break it. One of the things that we're doing also with the priority calls, we spent some money on a consultant company, and we did a research of like the top 20 police departments. And our codes have been the same forever. I think for over 30-something years, our codes have been the same. So we're about to make some adjustments on that, and that's going to be rolling out pretty soon. Well, let me not say pretty soon. We're still in the working phase of changing some of the codes, but we are going to see some changes on priorities for calls because some of the calls, like to your point, a disturbance, and then you put all those letters and numbers behind them, it would bump up to priority 1, 2, all the way down to 3 possibly. And so we're going to get more consistent with the United States. And I think that's going to show a difference for officers also.
So, Joe, I know when you and I were actually answering 911 calls, we called a little 6 was just a 6, and that was just a disturbance. And then you had the 6X was a disturbance with, injuries, I think is kind of what set that
Or a
apart.
weapon, yeah.
Or still in progress. And then it turned into a 6XE, which was we have an ambulance going, then it was a 6XEA, and now it's 6X.
Sounds like the alphabet's going on.
There's
number soup.
Way too many, and Mari, you could probably explain a little bit better how many iterations we have of the disturbance call at this point.
Yeah, so we have the 6, which is a minor disturbance. I have rarely ever used that or seen that used. Then we have the 6S, which is for the disturbance at a school. Then you have your 6X, which is a regular major disturbance, family violence or something between two people, probably just fighting, like physical fighting. Then you have your 6X, which is they're fighting, but someone seems to be in danger of like some type of serious bodily injury. You have a 6XE, which is that, but like a super emergency, I guess I would describe it. And then you have your 6XEA, which means that they're injured because of that emergency. And it's a lot. It is a lot of them to remember. I will say though, the codes are like, not the codes necessarily are okay, but I think if we're gonna, and this could just be my own personal suggestion, because I'm always full of ideas sometimes, I would say that when I was in training, I went to communications. I'm glad that the recruits don't do that anymore. I think that's like too much of a going on a week or two. I think we used to go. But I would say maybe for the dispatchers to see what it looks like in real life, or the call takers. I know they're separate. You have a call taker who actually takes a 911, and then you have a dispatcher who actually talks to us and tell us where to go to. When I was in communications while I was in the academy, I would code, now looking back, would code stuff a lot higher because when you call 911, you just assume it's an emergency, right? It's not always like a very immediate emergency. So I don't know if there's a way where call takers can either do ride-alongs or even watch body-worn camera videos and then be like, what would you, like based on what you see and based on this call, what would you, I guess, code it as? Because then you kind of get a more real life idea of like, is it really an emergency, or are they just calling because they want us a little bit sooner than later?
I think they used to send every communications employee on a ride along as part of their hiring process.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of officers won't be happy about that, but I think in the long term idea, it would be a lot more. It would be better because they would stop coding stuff a lot higher.
Yeah, if you want your input in there, then occasionally you got to spend a few hours with somebody in the car. And,
exactly.
and they don't have an opinion at that point too much. They're still learning. But if you can show them, hey, this is some of the stuff that we're complaining about out here.
Yeah, or we always already code our body-worn camera videos. Like you have to code it as the the type of call you went to, and the address. So if we could just load all those type of calls and kind of like a little test, like, what would you code this as? And then have somebody be like, hey, it's not going to be that. It should be X, Y, and Z instead.
Well, I'll consider this as a note that's been placed in the chief's suggestion box.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. And nobody listens to us anywhere on the show. So,
for sure.
you know,
It's
just a couple
terrible
people.
podcast.
Yeah. We're trying to get it up. So you are a field training officer, right?
I am.
Okay. Does the department have a shortage of field training officers?
We do, for sure.
Okay.
I would say so.
And can you tell the
I feel like y'all are about to attack me right now.
No, I'm not. It don't affect me. Can you talk about the importance of being an FTO?
I will give my perspective on it. I'm sure a lot of people have different opinions about it. I loved training. I loved training when I was a recruit. I loved training on Little T, like getting Little T partners. So when the opportunity for me to be a trainer came up, I was over the moon about it. And I'm passionate about it. So because I think it really shapes how you become as an officer. I had great trainers who they taught me a lot in very different ways. So my training experience, I was like, okay, when I grow up, I want to be kind of like them. Like they made it passionate. They made it fun. Like they showed me everything. They weren't scared to take certain calls. We did everything and anything that was available. And I feel like that will shape, at least my hope is that my rookie will take good input from me. And when he one day becomes a Little T partner to teach somebody that's even rookier than him, he'll think, oh, well, my trainer taught me this way, so this is how I'm going to now teach them. Because at some point, even when you don't have the FTO title, you are some type of trainer.
So a couple things here. We are about to have more promotions. I think that cat's kind of out the bag. But there's another piece that I'm really working on right now. And I was ready to sign it in, and then I learned that it has to go through meet and confer. What we're trying to do is also get senior officers who want to train, the ability to train where you don't have to just be a senior corporal to train. Because I believe there's a lot of experience sitting out there in patrol that for one reason or another they didn't want to promote. That's wasting on the side. That could be training officers. So it's something that I'm really pushing. I'm in support of, and I hope we can get it over the finish line so we can use some of the talents out there for some of these senior veteran officers that, again, for whatever reason, didn't want to become a senior corporal or try to become a sergeant, but has that knowledge to help us out.
Good trainers can really change a division, like an entire watch, and bad trainers can do the exact same.
I totally agree.
I love the fact that you recognize that your trainers helped shape you, and not just you, but your entire watch, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Southwest is where you trained?
I did. I trained at Southwest.
They've always had extremely capable officers over there, like really good officers. I'm a Southeast guy, but I still remember everybody that had stripes on their sleeves that trained over at Southeast when I was the whole time coming up. And the guys at Southwest were always, you knew who they were, right? You saw them at jail. You saw them out on the street making their rookies do the actual work and learn. And there's a ton of value in that.
It is, for sure. And I say that I would, as the little time that I have training, it really can impact, like you said, your watch, the people that you work with, because the department, like the watch right now, is usually a lot rookier because you have trainers who leave and want to go be a detective, which is cool, or want to go do some cool thing. But I think it really matters, those trainers who do want to stick it out, who do want to train. And you're right. It's not always that they don't always want to promote. Sometimes, family life, or it's just not their cup of tea of wanting to train. But you could just tell that they have that niche, and they might not even know it, that they could be really good trainers. So it changes definitely how you go on your workday, having those senior officers you can rely on and ask them questions. So I still have people that are senior to me that I call up because I don't know everything. I mean, I'm humble about it. I'll call them like, hey, what do you think about this? And they're just not on patrol. They're detectives or whatever. So
no, I'm glad you're working on that, Chief, because that's been tried in the past and it's been shot down as far as using senior officers in the role of FTOs, because there's plenty out there that, I mean, I've never taken a test, and now I'm closer to the end, and I'm never going to take the test. But I knew several senior officers that remained a PO, and they could have been really good FTOs.
Yeah, Joe, you're really good at what you do. Right now, we're going to keep you here. Don't take the test.
No, I'm not taking the test.
I want to look at you.
Don't worry about it.
I kind of want to look at him as the way I look at him. He's really good at what he does right now. If he takes the test and makes like a 52, that might change my image.
Yeah,
it might change my image.
Hey, that test is really hard.
These
that's
tests are not easy.
Yeah, these tests are really hard.
That's why I don't want to lose my image of him.
No, I'm not taking the test. You don't have to worry about that.
Look, he's turning red. Look
Yeah.
at him.
No, I know I'm a terrible test taker.
He's like, no, I'd make at least a 62.
Yeah.
We have chiefs that come in from outside. They've never taken the internal test for our promotions, and they start saying stuff like, well, if you're not scoring at least an 80, then you probably don't need to promote. And I'm like, take that test.
Yeah.
Take that test and find out how easy it is.
Because, A and C and B are the same, but then is it all of the above? I hate the all of the above questions, because then I'll say, is it A and C, or is it all of the above? And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Is it both? Is it all of them? I don't know.
And it's just the most bizarre questions, like how much does the bell weigh on a caboose of a train that travels through the metropolitan of this? You're like, what?
I don't like that.
The corporal test was, I guess, I don't know how much we're even able to talk about it, or if it's whatever, but
you know what? You're on Joe's podcast. Say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
This is HEO's podcast.
So-
Say whatever you want. This is not really DPD.
Right.
Right.
It's Joe's podcast. Like the test, right? They give us so much material to study, like so much. I knew how bad I wanted it from the very beginning. So I started studying from day one, like 3 hours every day. And like the week before I took off and I studied my butt off. But it is so much. Like I really attempted to read the entire CCP the week before. That's how like I really was like, this is a lot. And they asked me a question, which I will still remember, was like, who does a city representative have to call to schedule to reserve a room for if they're trying to, what was it? I think like they're running for office. And I was like, what? Thankfully, I think I knew the answer for that one.
I'm glad you did.
So I'm curious. I'm going to put you on the spot. What did you make on the senior corporal's test?
I made an 83. So raw scores, I think I was 5. And I think after they added the point, I ended up number 8.
So make that clear. An 83 for everyone that's listening, it's like extremely high. Right now, our next round of promotions, if I'm not mistaken, it's either going to be 70s or 71s. So an 83 is really high. So I tell you, you're blowing me away right now.
Well, look, I'm like Joe. Nothing to me, but I barely passed the academy on like testing. So it's really hard. But again, I really wanted to train. So I was like, I got to do good. And my goal was to have Sundays off. So I was like, if I can score really high, I'm going to have the Lord's Day off and enjoy it. So that was my motivation. Right. But it was a very hard test.
Sundays off. And I'll tell you this, Sundays off I'm cool with. But I can tell you as a chief of police, one of the things, and this is not going to be popular, one of the things that I'm still trying to wrap my head around is how the rookies can have Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off. I'm talking about the recruits, the ones who are on training now. I cannot wrap my head around that now. We need them working on the weekends off.
I agree, because I work the weekends, but I also did have trainers who had the weekend off. So, and I'm going to say this, and whenever, I think it was like quite a while ago, I don't even remember when the thing went into place, but I went to one of the association meetings, and because they were like saying how a lot of rookies right now are in the 000 club, which is no comp time, no vacation time, no sick time. And that's like after being done with training, right? And I suggested, I was like, we recruit so much out of the state that you need to give them a little bit that they're not going to want to call off. So I suggested that week, I had said one of the weeks when they were on enrichment, they should have off, because I thankfully have my family here, but I remember classmates of mine that left, they had them in New York or in Florida, and we're trying to get through training. So I was like, hey, why don't we just see if they can, instead of one enrichment week, have them take off to visit their family to kind of decompress, because 10 months in the academy, that's long. That's long, and it's draining. And then you get into training and you get another 6 months of like long, hard work. So I agree. We should have rookies who are working the weekends. The weekends are fun. That's when you get all the cool stuff, I think.
Yeah. So one of the things that scared me when I took this job is the fact that our academy is 10 months long, right? But after seeing what's coming out of the academy after 10 months, I agree that the academy should be 10 months. Mm-hmm. And as a major city, you want to be prepared day one when you go out in the streets, because oftentimes anything can happen, as we all know, the first day of the first week.
Sure.
And those extra months in academy, I think it's clearly showing that it's better preparing our officers to go on the streets. So now I'm perfectly good with 10 months. One of the things that we all know that's sitting here and everyone needs to know that's listening to this podcast, the Dallas Police Department is nationwide. We have recruits coming in from every single state trying to become a Dallas officer, and we want to keep capturing that because everyone that lives in Dallas is not from Dallas. So I love the fact that we're recruiting across the entire United States, and we're really knocking it out the park right now when it comes to recruiting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we go out and speak to the academy class. We had people come hired on from Jamaica and Puerto Rico. There are so many people outside of the country, but it's really and when I went through, that was not the case. You might have 3 people out of a 40-person class that was outside of Texas.
We haven't had a 40-person class since I've been here. Watch your mouth.
Well, brag on some of the numbers.
We're averaging about 60 per class right now as the Dallas Police Department, and that's super impressive.
That says a lot. That says a lot for the recruiting team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need. You know what? We need to do one of these episodes with them.
They're knocking it out the ballpark right now. We have officers coming in at a high number. Matter of fact, I was just talking to Kalunga right before I came here, and they're going to cut this next class off at 60. They could easily go over 60 right now.
Not only recruiting, but training. The whole training division is doing a great job of I mean, that's a lot of people to run through everything that we do in
and that's
the 10
what I was
months.
going to say, because I go out to the academy to help on OC day. So I get to OC the recruits, and the training academy, I mean, they work their butt off, but it is tight. Like even when I go to help out, like OC day is a long day because you have so many recruits that are going through. And then I used to go for a CIT week as well to help teach and be like an actor. And that's a lot of them to, like, even when we talk about time, right? We're teaching them what a call is going to look like out in the streets. But sometimes because we have so many, it's like you kind of have to cut it short instead of telling them, hey, like, this is what you should do when you're out here. So it's great, but it's tough for sure.
Yeah.
Even as I go as an adjunct.
So here's another breaking news in case everyone hasn't heard yet, and a lot of listeners will know that's on the department and that's possibly looking at the Dallas Police Department. This new class that's coming in, they're going to 410s. So our recruits are now going to be on 410s. And I think it's going to be really good for recruiting. It's going to be good for the department. And when you go to patrol, you're on 410s. So we're going to start that in the academy now. So this new class are going to start with 410s.
That's cool.
Yeah, we've never had that before. I want to get back to training. What is, in your opinion, and you're a fairly new trainer, and when Ernest comes in, he's a long-time FTO, and that was by design. What are some of the good and bad of training in what you've experienced?
The good, I'll start off with the good. I'll say that it's refreshing to see again kind of what you had when you first started training, that rookie that gets excited about their, like for us, like our for like dope arrest, right? Or the gun, or you got a foot chase, and like they get excited and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like I used to get, I mean, I still do. I still say I'm a rookie at heart because I still very much enjoy doing the work. So I say that teaching them and seeing them mold and grow. And then even yesterday we were talking about his DORs, like from when he started to how we're at right now, just on traffic stops and how he talks to people, it's changed drastically. And it makes me feel proud because I'm like, I'm teaching something good. Like he's learning something. But I'll say the tough part, about it is that paperwork of like making sure that I put out correctly what he is learning and what he is deficient on, so that if it ever comes up later on, that it was properly documented and it doesn't come back on us as trainers that we failed him in some way. And also, I think that sometimes we take some calls late at night and that OT is rough. So I think that part of like me trying to tell him like, no, like, yeah, we can go take the call, knowing dang well that we're about to do like 3-4 hours OT on this call because it's going to be a long one.
On top of a 10-hour shift. What is the biggest stressor in patrol right now? I'm asking your opinion, but as far as like you got your ear to the ground, you're actually boots on the ground in patrol. You're hearing what everybody's saying. What are some of the biggest stressors we're hearing?
I think everyone has a little bit of difference on what their stressor is, but I would say for me, as of recently, it's going to be sometimes the getting called out on detail as a group when one person fails or doesn't do what they're supposed to do. So that kind of sucks because as an officer that you're like working hard, doing your best, trying to do all the paperwork and trying to take care of everything. And then you go on to the next day into detail and one person or three people, whatever, 2-3 people did something wrong, and then we all get called out on detail, and then you start your detail feeling like kind of like crap, I guess, of like we're all in the crap hole together. So I would say that part is kind of been tough, but other than that, I don't know. It depends on the day. It depends on the day for sure.
So one of the things that I have a history of doing as a leader is I believe in putting people on the spot.
Oh, for sure.
So we need all the listeners to understand. I just called the rookie to the table, and we're going to ask him a question.
You know, he asked if he could sit in the car before this, and I was like, no.
No, sit in the car.
Yeah.
No, you can't sit in the car.
This is training. Are we? I feel
Tell
like
us your name.
My name is Officer Forstall.
How long have you been with us now?
I've been on patrol since May, late May. Joined Dallas Police Department in July of last year. So.
Well, I'll tell you, you're one of the rookies that I actually like. You know why?
Why's that, Chief?
Because your badge number is higher than mine. Finally, I get somebody with a higher badge number than me.
What is your badge?
13103.
Now, where are you from? Did you grow up in Dallas?
I didn't grow up in Dallas. I kind of bounced around, mainly from California, and then joined the military, so on and so forth. Ended up in Dallas.
So did you come here because of the job?
No, sir. I was a pipe fitter beforehand, and in Kansas City, they moved me down to Fort Worth, and then Fort Worth to Dallas. So,
all right.
So you decided to come in the Dallas Police Department.
Yes, sir.
A good choice.
All right. Why Dallas? I'm going to ask you this now. Now we got you here. Why did you want to come to Dallas?
Dallas is it's a bigger metropolitan area. There's a lot more people, a lot more crime. You can get a lot more experience a lot quicker than a smaller department.
What do you think of South Central so far?
I love South Central. It's got pretty much everything there. So
yeah, a lot
other
of
than
action.
Food.
You don't. Yeah,
no restaurants.
Not a restaurant there. Not that cops won't go to.
No.
Yeah. So I'm going to put you on the spot again since we have you. So you've had a first phase trainer, right?
Correct.
Okay. How are you going to rate your first phase trainer to Marty over here?
Oh man.
He's not listening.
Okay. Wait. We should say that his first phase trainer is my classmate, and we were always in competition when we were in the academy, and then I scored higher than him in the test. So let's
Rookie of the year.
He is okay. We should mention that we were also in competition for Rookie of the Year when I was at 4 and he was at 7, and we both got nominated for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, congrats on that.
Yeah,
Wow.
but he won, not me, and I was like, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll let him have it.
Restrepo, I know you're asleep right now, I hope, and he's not listening. He's a great guy, great trainer. I learned a lot from him.
But
There's no but. There's no but. Yeah, no. It was a lot more call answering with him, and with Cartas, it's a lot more being proactive and learning how to think on my feet.
all right, early on, so you're talking about proactive work. It is different, and it's something you have to, over time, sharpen that skill, right? Because, so when you talk about proactive work, what are you talking about?
More so just traffic stops, finding like items in plain view, just reasons, and thinking ahead on how to get that arrest, or if there's a crime even in progress.
It is creating circumstances that could lead to an arrest, right?
Correct.
As opposed to most patrol, you're basically responding to calls for service from 911 calls. But, like some people like to proactively chase dope. Some people like to proactively go after DWIs.
Well, as you know, I love to say, and I want everyone to know, we are the most proactive police department in the United States. And that goes to what you're talking about right now. Sometimes when you're very proactive, you can stop so many other crimes from happening when you put that bad and the worst of the worst in jail before they do something. So I love the proactive work that comes from patrol.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what, calls need to be answered because crime happens. People are victims of crime. They call 911. We respond to help them after a crime's committed. But proactive work, as Chief said, that is what reduces crimes in communities.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now that you have Chief here, you know, and again, nobody listens. We're hoping we get a couple more listeners now.
Maybe if you put on their certified yapper, they might.
I'm going to title it Certified Yapper. So what could we do to make it better for the patrolman?
Boost morale. Man, there's a lot of different stuff. And I don't even know, what it would take or what you would need to do in different ways of, I guess, incentivizing patrol. Because I know as a senior corporal, a lot of people leave because patrol's not incentivized in the best way. And so I know it's our job and I know we sign up for it, but I mean, if you have to choose from 105-degree weather to work in or be at headquarters in nice, cool temperature, most people are not going to choose being in patrol. It's definitely not the thing. And even as a PO, you have so many opportunities to go somewhere else now. And that's the best thing in the department, that we can go so many different places, but then patrol kind of suffers because everyone kind of wants to go and try new stuff.
Well, every day I think of ways to try to incentivize patrol, because I do agree with you and I want patrol to be that spot. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about this on the podcast before, where I want to raise the image up, even when it comes to leadership, about being in patrol, because it's the most important part of the police department. So
I'll tell you, there's nothing better than having a really good sergeant. Like, having a good sergeant will make or break your experience in patrol 100%. Having that sergeant that has your back and is knowledgeable and wants to take care of you and wants to see you, not only because we talk about proactive work, right? Not only answer calls, but also get the opportunity to go and be proactive and, like you said, stop that crime before it happens. And so having a really good sergeant, man, it changes the way you work for sure.
Well, and I can see that. And I mean, it goes all the way up the chain, having a lieutenant, and it really, especially having a major that is engaged with what's going on in patrol. If you don't have a major that's engaged in what's going on in patrol, I think patrol can go straight down the tube.
Mm-hmm. We have a great major.
Who's the major?
Major Valentine.
Ah, Bree.
She's a really good major.
She's a good person.
I will say that was one of my promotions.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
Great job, she's a good human being, and I think it begins with that, and them just being a good natural leader. Just kind of like she's just piggybacked on being a good person at heart. For
sure, yeah. She comes into our detail, and she sends emails occasionally, and she'll always have a little bit of I think she calls it like a tidbit of like patrol. And one thing that I think left an impression on me whenever she first got there is, as a female officer, right? Other female officers make impression on me of how I want to become or how I want to be. And I know the rookies now don't get it. I get it because I didn't have the LBV when I first started. But she said, at the end of the night, what you want to hear is that Velcro coming off. And it's whenever we used to have not the LBV, but you'd have to put it inside your shirt, the vest, and you hear the of the vest coming off. And that means something, right? That means you're going home. It means you're good and you're going home that night. And that made an impression on me because you could tell that she cares about how we're doing. And then she mentioned family. She's like, if you have family issues, like, come to us, talk to us. We're here for you. Your family is first. And it's not often that they say that. Usually it's like, hey, the job comes first, but family comes first so you can be good for the job.
I'm glad you told me all that, and I'm very high on her, and that's why I promoted her. Yeah. So you just made me feel really good that I made
I don't talk to her much. There. This is just from the interaction she has with us as a whole.
Are you trying to get something better at the station?
No.
In case she listens to this?
No.
Okay.
No, you can't. I'm telling you, you can't beat my spot right now. Like, I love it. I love Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays off and getting to train. It's cool.
I tell you that Bree will listen to this. So, yeah. No, she listens to all these. Yeah. She's a fan of the show. Marty, as we wrap this up, there's not everybody gets to sit with the chief of police. Usually, sadly, on this department, you sit before the chief of police or have interactions is for like a hearing of some kind. And that was the whole point of doing the show. And again, we can't get to every unit, we can't get to every division, but you're handpicked for a reason. And I think you are one of the young stars on this department. I want you to speak to anybody that's out there that may be looking at departments in Texas to apply for, and they have their eye on DPD. What would you tell them about DPD that would make them come here? It's
a good department to work for. You will learn so much. Just like Officer Forrestal said, this department is very well rounded. We have so much that you can do. And in the little time that you'll be here, even those 10 months that you mentioned about the academy, you will learn so much. and you will probably have way more experience with DPD in 10 months in the academy than you might with another officer that's been on the streets in a smaller department. And when you get on the streets, I mean, what is it? The world is your oyster. Is that what the saying is? And you can do so much. You can, if you just want to call answer, you can just call answer. If you want to go do proactive work, you can do proactive work. You want to apply to SWAT, or you want to apply to be an A&I detective, you can do all of that. I mean, really, it's all going to be about how you apply yourself. So if you're thinking about becoming an officer, start training before you even apply. Put your mind into it. Study not just your mind, but make sure your body is ready for what is to come, mentally, physically, and take it seriously. The great part of DPD that I loved when I applied was like, man, I get to get paid while I work out and I study, and I'm making some good money. And then when I'm off training, I mean, I just got to make it off training, and then I can pretty much do whatever I aspire to be in the department. So just prepare yourself mentally, physically. Don't keep your hobbies, and just be prepared. It's going to be fun. It's going to be what you make out of it and the attitude you have in it.